All right. Sorry about that. All right. So everyone, welcome to the Elevate Your Running the Summer Runner presentation. That last 30 seconds just showed you that I am human too. So we'll get started. Tips on how to run your strongest in the summer heat. Now, we're in the middle of May. Before we started recording, we were talking about how Austin and Brandon, Jesse, they're in very humid, hot climates. So we're going to talk about how to set yourself up for success. Even in Colorado, it can get really warm. So we want to make sure that we're doing the right things, the best things that we can do this summer so you can run strong in the fall, and also the benefits to running in a lot of heat. So we'll get started. This is a great quote. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done. Now, my coach is also on this call, so this is amazing because he knows how much I hate, or maybe that I enjoy I love running in perfect conditions. I really don't like running at night. I don't like running in the heat. I don't like running in humidity. But we also get to lean into it. So yesterday was a great example. I was still in Michigan. It was like 75, 72, 75 degrees, partly sunny, 80% humidity. I literally could not breathe while I was running against the wind, and it was suffocating. And I thought, you have no choice. Like, you have to get this done. So food for thought, like, you just get it done, right? It's a great mental strength, mental win, elevated moment for sure. All right. So we have some people in the chat. Let's check this. Oh yeah, I'm a fair weather runner. Or snow or rain or cold. Yes, I'm a fair weather runner, yet I am, I'm probably the most consistent runner out of everyone in the Zoom call. I'm just going to say it. So I might complain, but I get it done. So with that, this is the agenda for today. We're going to talk about, and yes, Tucker says he can confirm that. If anything, I'm always asking for more runs. All right, so for today, we're going to talk about the impact of running in summer temperatures. So the initial impact on your body. We're going to talk about how to structure pace, nutrition, hydration, outfit suggestions, or as I like to call it, the training kit. So not the racing kit, but the training kit, the extras, different things to think about, and then the benefits of heat training. So the impact, right? Heat and humidity will 110% every single time make running feel harder. This is just a fact. So both of these elements, both the heat and the humidity side of things, will really tax your body. It's going to definitely increase your heart rate at a much faster rate. So I know Brandon and I've been talking quite a bit. He's having trouble keeping his heart rate down. He has some other things going on in his life, like a newborn, lack of sleep. So there's that going on. And then he's also running in Texas, which is extremely hot and humid right now. Brandon, if you want to jump in the chat and let us know what the current temperature is in Texas at 5:00 p.m. Let us know, and I'll be happy to share. And if anyone if anyone wants to guess it, so Brandon sent it to me secretly. If anyone wants to guess it, if you guess pretty close without using Google, I'll throw in a free water bottle. Elevate your running water bottle. Okay, anyways, so your heart rate's going to increase more quickly. So what does that mean? You get to slow down. So we're going to talk about that next. Your heart is going to be beating a lot faster for the same pace because it's working harder to cool your body off. And if you run warm, you're going to see that just exponentially faster than other runners who might run cool. I'm definitely a person, runner, human, athlete who runs warm. And if you saw my Instagram story yesterday, you can confirm that because like my entire body was like red after my workout. I was just so hot. So it's going to mean that your run feels harder. Your legs might feel fatigued faster. You're just not going to be able to hit the same paces. Awesome. Okay, great. Aaron won. Aaron, great job, girlfriend. Okay, so it's 90 degrees in in Katy, Texas, and Aaron guessed that right. So congratulations, Aaron. I'll connect with you after this call. So that's the impact. So without even starting running, like this is what's happening as you're getting going. So let's talk about pace because this is kind of the biggest thing, right? You get to slow your roll. Sorry, not sorry. Like we all love running fast. I'm right there with you. And yet, like, we get to slow down. I noticed in Michigan, if I was running a normal pace, like I felt incredible, like my legs felt incredible at I would say maybe on the faster side of my easy pace, yet my heart rate was a lot higher. But when I actually slowed my pace down, and I was actually slowing it down by like 45 seconds, it fell in that easy heart rate zone, which is what we're targeting for 145 and under. So you get to slow your roll, and that's okay. It could be 30 seconds, it could be 60. Sorry, Brandon, it looks like it might be 90 seconds for you. Doing whatever we can do to make sure that your heart rate doesn't spike too high. And a great way to do this is by starting the first mile out slow. If you train with me, you know that that's a big piece to our training. We start slow to finish slow, or we start slow to finish fast. We like to practice it in training because how you show up in training is how you show up on race day. And if you're starting slow, you're able to transition into a race doing that same sort of thing, which is great for like a half or marathon distance. Everyone runs slower in the summer. It's not just you. Tucker and I coach an in-person summer group that starts this year on June 8th. Last year, we had to slow down quite a bit. Some days when we even had workouts scheduled, we just did easy running and we were all just jogging and just getting it in. So just know that it's not you. Everyone is doing this. And I guess it's the summer trend. So you can also practice run walking if that's going to help you kind of like lower your heart rate, feel good. It's always really great to listen to your body too with pace when it comes to heat. If you don't feel well, obviously stop running immediately. Like it's definitely okay. You don't have to push yourself, but also know that balance of, do I don't feel well because I don't want to do this? Or do I just really I just don't feel well and, feel like I might pass out or something like that. So funny story yesterday, when I was running Threshold, there was definitely a point where I was like, do I feel like I'm going to pass out? Or do I feel like I want to feel like I'm going to pass out so I can hit the stop on my watch? So it's a real thing. And know your body, know your limits, and do the responsible thing. Because at the end of the day, your health is the most important thing. Now, we all love Strava and we love to brag on Strava about maybe our pace, maybe about who we're running with, all these things. Well, why don't we start a trend this summer where we get to brag on how slow we are running? Because one of the best pieces to this is not only like slowing your roll and seeing, just easy effort, but you're going to see a lot of gains in the fall. You're going to see a lot of gains on race day, and then let your Strava friends see how, fast you really are. Those training runs should not be fast. Yes. Yeah. Good point, Chad. So Chad mentioned that he runs in the morning, and we're going to talk about that here. And it's definitely a tip that I'm going to be sharing as we get into the presentation. So now with nutrition, all runs are going to feel harder, right? So we want to start out with a good breakfast or snack, depending on what time of the day that you're running. If you're running in the morning, trying to eat something. I know it's really tough. Jesse wakes up at 4 a.m. Brandon is up before or close to 5 a.m. When his schedule is normal, i.e. not waking up throughout the night for a newborn. So I know it's really tough to eat when you're waking up that early to get out the door, to get a workout in, to then, get ready for the day and take your kids to school and go to work. So do what you can do to set yourself up for success. So it might be a small snack of like a banana with peanut butter. It could be something a little bit heartier. If you're going out, if you have maybe 60 minutes to work with, or if your stomach is able to take in nutrition a little bit faster and easier and digest it before going into your run. You can also carry gels and chews with you. Definitely for workouts, I do this. Long runs as well. Obviously, like we talk about that in training, like definitely carry nutrition with you. It's only going to help you on those hot and humid runs. So my run yesterday, I had a water bottle. I had some Jelly Belly sports beans, which I love, but I did this out and back and I dropped everything at the start thinking I wouldn't need it or need my water for the 15-minute tempo. Big mistake. Big mistake. I would definitely should have carried it with me. So carry things with you. It's okay. It might seem like it's a hassle, but it definitely is better to have it versus not. And Nathan makes great water bottles. We'll talk about that later, but there's definitely things that you can do to set yourself up for success there. And you don't want to skip on nutrition after a run either. And we have quite a few early morning runners in this group. I love it. I'm also an early morning runner in the summer. So we don't want to skip on nutrition after a run. That's going to be critical to set you up for success for the rest of the day. You want to refuel within 30 to 45 minutes. What I did yesterday was I had like a yogurt smoothie and an applesauce pack. And then I ate some things later once my stomach and mind and body wanted something. Definitely an iced coffee, something like that. But smoothies, if you have a blender, are great to make. You can throw in some sort of liquid like milk, almond milk, water, protein powder, fruit, some nut butter, avocado, some greens, something like that for a well-rounded snack to just refuel your body before having something later when you're ready for it. Bananas, toast, nut butters, dates, those are all great fueling options. You want to stay well fueled and hydrated, which we're going to talk about next. So you avoid the muscle cramps, you avoid the heat cramps, you avoid that exhaustion, whether in the workout or after. How many of us have gone on a long run in the summer and then we're just like, so exhausted for the rest of the day? That doesn't feel great. I love to do all the things and I hate feeling that way. So I'm going to do everything that I can do to set myself up for success on long runs, workouts, and every run in the summer to make sure I feel good all day and have the best energy to give myself, my dog, Kenzie, my athletes, my friends, my family, all those great people. So let's get into hydration. So handheld water bottles are great. Hydration vests are great. So Nathan makes a great water bottle with a handheld. It comes with a pocket. You can add gels. You can add, I had chapstick. You can add your keys, anything that you don't want to hold. It's great. The hydration vest obviously stores more. Most hydration vests, or at least the one I have, I guess they have different sizes, stores like 48 ounces of water. So I'll do one with water. It comes with 2 bottles. So 1 bottle with water, 1 with electrolyte mix. It's a great way to make sure you stay hydrated and you get to practice how you're going to set yourself up on race day this fall when we're alternating between the water and electrolyte tables. So we're bouncing back and forth. You can do that in training too. My advice is to store these water bottles in the refrigerator before you go out, especially if it's warm. Even on, if it stays cold for like 5-10 minutes, that's fine. At least it's 5 and 10 minutes of like something cold around your hand or on your chest to get you started for the day. So something else I like to do is I drop plastic water bottles on my route. And then I definitely go back and pick them up if I leave them. So make sure you do that if you want to, but it's a great way to stay hydrated. If let's say you have one of those little handheld bottles and it only has 12 ounces of water, you're going to need more if you're doing a long run or a really hard workout that's not on a track. So you'll want to have extra water somewhere. Now, you can also plan your route around water stations, which I think are still turned off from COVID. But also other options are storing water in your car and bringing like a little cooler so you have like cold water, and also stopping at coffee shops to refill your water bottle. Their baristas are always so great to give extra water, and usually, I don't have a problem getting that. Now I'm a big believer in not stopping during training runs. All my athletes know this, but I think in the summer it's better to be safe than sorry, and I'd rather have you stop to pick up extra water than to, go without and then not be able to complete the workout or get sick or, feel like ill, something like that. So definitely stop for water. It's highly, highly, highly encouraged. And then you can also pack extra like cold drinks in a mini cooler for post running, and just add ice packs to make sure that they're cold. I love to do LaCroix or bubbly water, Gatorades, smoothies. So you can kind of do whatever fills your cup in that way. Iced coffee is always a favorite after every single summer run. My Starbucks bill goes like so insane in the summer. But it's also a treat, and it's a way to motivate myself when I am doing a really warm workout or a warm long run. Tucker's been there for a lot of them. I go back to the one, Tucker, from last fall where we did 20 miles in Golden on the bike path. And it was like, I don't know, we had like 3 weeks of like really cold weather, and then the heat came back in September, and it was like 75 degrees or something when we started, and we had a 20 miler and I just about died. Not as much as yesterday though. So, but having those extra cold drinks in the car is great. So you can hydrate fast, you can cool your body core temperature down, and set yourself up for success for the rest of the day. And then I highly encourage you to track how many ounces of water you're running or you're drinking in the summer. So 100 ounces is ideal. And I know it's really hard to do that. So if you can get to 80 or 90, bravo. If you want to inch your way closer to 100, that's great. For those of us who live at altitude, or in warm climates. So Austin and Brandon, Jesse, you fall in this category too. Aaron, on the East Coast, like leaning into 120 ounces if you can get it in. Really drinking a lot of water, but also making sure that you're getting electrolytes and sodium into your diet. So you're not just depleting your body of all of that by drinking so much water, but you have that nice balance. So let's talk training kit, my favorite topic. So definitely like colored clothing, right? So that 20 miler I referenced in Golden on the bike path, I think I was wearing like a black tank, black shorts. Like I was definitely in a dark colored outfit. Not okay. Wear light colored clothing, wicking material, breathable material, whatever you can do to keep your body cool. There are specific running shirts made for summer. I think actually most brands have, like athletic brands have the right kind of clothes for running in the summer. I know Lululemon and Nike do, but I can't speak for anyone else. But you do want something that's light colored, it's wicking, it's breathable. Sunglasses are a great way to keep the sun out of your eyes. Hats are nice, right? It definitely helps absorb some of the maybe the sweat that is happening or coming through your skin. But a visor is actually better because it's allowing heat to escape your head. So a visor is great, but I always tend to stick with hats because I do. I actually don't think I own a visor. If anyone owns a visor, add that in the chat. I'd like to know this. And then having, your water bottle, your hydration vest, cooling it in the refrigerator before you go out, carrying a towel with you. Like some people do this. Now, yesterday I definitely needed this. So I ended up like I needed a towel, did not have a towel. I ended up using my running top that I was in because it was actually just too disgusting to even wear. So it worked out well. But like, I know people who run with like small towels to kind of like, towel off their face or their shoulders or their neck or something like that. And then It's also really great if you can bring an extra set of clothing, after the run. So let's say if you're doing something social or if you're in your car, just changing some of your outfit right there is super great too. All right, so we have people in the chat. We have early morning runners. Yeah, Chad, you have it dialed. Yeah, I love frozen fruit. Yes. Oh, you are a brand ambassador for Hydro Pack. All right. If you need a Hydro Pack, talk to Chad, who's on the chat. Ooh, okay. So Becky said the scalp sometimes gets burnt with the visor. That is a great tip. Erin has 3 visor hats. Erin's a pro runner. She's been doing this for years. She has it dialed. Chad says he's not cool enough for a visor. I know. I feel like I'm not cool enough for a visor either. So that's fun. See if I can get this off. There we go. And all right, great. So now we're going to talk about the extras. You want to wear sunscreen, right? So Becky just talked about how her scalp gets sunburned. So wear sunscreen. Now you should wear it year round, but summer is definitely the time to wear it if you're not wearing it year round. So you can put it on like your part in your hair, or if you have more skin exposure, like just putting as much sunscreen on the top of your head as possible is really great. Obviously your face, your upper, lower body, everything that is, exposed to the sun. So an SPF that's waterproof is great, safe for our bodies, live in Boulder. I'm kind of into that. I love the Beauty Counter line. I use it for a lot of different things. But they have a really great mineral sunscreen. They have a sunscreen stick for your face, which is great. So you can just like quickly apply and go. But like Alba makes a great one. I know Trader Joe's has one. And then 30 is always what I wear. But you can go as high as 50, even higher. It's totally your preference and your skin type and tone and what you're going to feel comfortable in. Now, if you're running with a pace pal, i.e. our 4-legged friends, you want to bring extra water for them. And, Kenzie has a cooling vest. So if you have a dog, think about getting a cooling vest for them. Now, she doesn't actually run with me. So we have A, we don't quite have B, but Tucker is working with her. He's a great run coach and he's working with her to get her running again. And she's ready to go this summer if she wants to run with me. All right, so more extras. You want to plan your route ahead of time. So Chad mentioned, he is a morning runner. Austin, Brandon, Jesse, I'm a morning runner for sure. Jason's a morning runner. Trying to think who else. We're morning runners, right? Morning, early morning is great. Evening runs when it's after maybe the sun is setting, that's a good time too. It's still kind of warm, but it's not hot. So you want to really avoid, between 10 and 2 p.m., maybe even 4 p.m. I know in Colorado, it can still be very, very, very hot. So you want to plan a shady running route. You want to run early morning or late evening when the sun is either rising or setting and it's beautiful. So like win-win. And, set yourself up, run with friends. Sometimes the distraction of talking with people will make you forget, how miserable or hot it is. And you also want to listen to your body. You want to be smart about this. Now, your life does not depend on getting an easy run in or hitting a certain pace or hitting a certain distance. Like we love the Strava buildup. I love the Strava buildup. And it's okay to say this just isn't happening. So I might not hit my mileage this week. And that's okay because you and your health and safety is first and foremost. There's always going to be another run. Okay, so finally, here we are, the benefits to running in the summer. So you get to think of heat training as a tool. So it's a training stimulus. So think of it like you're doing speed work, you're doing hill workouts. We all love to hate them, or you're running at altitude. Running in the heat can enhance your fitness tenfold. Like this is great news, right? Hashtag yay, Brandon, this is for you. Brandon and I had like some words this morning with each other. I'm like, just wait for the presentation. It's going to be okay. You're going to come out of this feeling so freaking strong. I know last summer I did a lot of my runs in the morning, but I got at least 2 of my runs, if not 3 at night. And I know I felt the benefits of it once the weather started to cool off. Why? Because when you do and go through heat training in the summer, the benefits afterwards. So in the fall, you're going to feel a lower core temperature on the onset of sweating, which is a good thing. You're going to have increased plasma volume. You're going to have a decreased heart rate. So it would not surprise me if you're easy running in the fall and your heart rate is just so low and dialed. I know last fall mine was very often around like 131 to 135 on most of my easy runs with the same pace. And we're targeting 145 or under. So being in the low 130s is so good. You're also going to have an increased oxygen consumption, improved exercise economy, like all the benefits. You're going to see and feel it all. You're going to see it in the data. You're going to hear it from your running coach. And you're going to feel really strong. And who doesn't love that? So you get to run faster, you get to run more efficient, and it's going to be a lot of fun this fall when we are crushing our races. I know we have a handful of people here who already have fall racing on their schedule. We have New York City, we have Indianapolis, we have the fall equinox half, we have some other races, the Cape Cod Marathon for Aaron, Chicago for Tucker. And I think I'm running it too. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Dina, I know. I thought of you. Dina finishes work at 3. So she can't run until after 3 o'clock because she starts so early. So Dina, maybe, we can figure out doing at least your easy running is, if you feel okay, great at that time. And then maybe doing your workout and just your workout during the work week a little bit later in the night. So that'll be good for you. So from our coach, Austin, his quote is, if not now, when? So if you're thinking to yourself, crap, I have a workout and it's hot and humid and I don't want to do it. If you're not going to do it now, when are you going to get it done? And it's not going to do itself, right? Like you're not going to the fitness isn't going to magically appear by sitting on your couch. So you get to show up, you get to do it, but you also get to be safe about it and to really listen to your body. And it's a great way to know your boundaries and your body's boundaries in the summer is by really tuning into it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you everyone for your live attendance, for anyone that's listening to this on playback, for anyone who attended today or listening. Austin and I are offering like a free 15-minute problem solving call or strategy session. So if you're not currently utilizing a running coach, feel free to reach out to us. You can book through calendly.com/elevateyourrunning and schedule that call, and we can take a look at your training, what you're doing, any questions you have, and give some advice on how to set you up for success. So with that, I'll open this up for any Q&As thanks, Chad, that the team has. So Chad says, Noon, Tailwind, Scratch Labs, LMNT, they all have great products. Totally agree with that. Scratch has some great stuff. Tailwind for sure. I love Noon. So I love Noon and sparkling water. I think a lot of you know this. It's a great like happy hour drink. It looks fun. It tastes incredible. Watermelon is my favorite flavor, but Noon makes awesome stuff. So definitely lean into it. And you get to make it fun too. It doesn't have to be, disgusting and taste awful. We get to like what we drink and eat. So does anyone have any questions? We'll open the floor up. Any questions about summer running? Running questions in general? Tucker says, thank you. You're welcome. Thanks for attending, Tucker. Let's all have strong summer running. All right. Any questions? Going once, going twice. Hey, Jess. Yes. Okay. So Jess says, what's your take on hydrating throughout the week? If you have a hot long run coming up on a Saturday, does it make a difference to start hydrating a few days before? Definitely. This is kind of a trick question too, because I'm thinking to myself, like, we should always be hydrating, right? So very consistent with the hydration. So really leaning into the 100 ounces a day if you can, and then making sure that you're getting enough sodium and electrolytes within your hydration throughout the day. And I feel like how I hydrate on a Thursday makes or breaks how my run goes on Saturday. And it's not really necessarily Friday, or how I hydrate on Wednesday or Thursday is how I'm going to feel on Saturday. So it definitely makes a difference. You can feel tired, lethargic, not able to hit paces. Definitely can't hit paces if you're dehydrated. And it's one of those problems too, where if you've run hot races, like if you start to like teeter out, or you feel like you're starting to like slow down, if it's a nutrition issue, you can take a gel and you can usually snap back to it. It's a hydration issue, you're kind of stuck and there's no way around it. So really get to be leaned into making sure that you're hydrating enough throughout the week, 7 days a week, and then a little bit extra on those long runs, especially if you're a heavy sweater. Chad says he gets all his electrolytes from Taco Bell. Maybe the sodium, Chad, for sure. Yes, Jess. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. And Dina
Sarah.
says ready for those heat gains.
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
What if I chime in on Siri? Thought
Which
I said
one?
Siri.
Sarah Buchanan.
Whoops. All right. Sorry. Siri was chiming into our conversation. You mind if I talk a little bit about that question you were just answering?
Absolutely.
So I kind of think about like hydration and preparing for a long run in a very similar way to how we may prepare for, a race or a big long run as far as nutrition. In some cases we may carb load, and that's kind of an approach where you're looking at, numbers of carbs that you're going to intake based off body weight. We can do something really similar to that with like electrolytes and sodium intake, and also the consistency of the water intake that we're getting as well. Hydration is definitely more than just water, because if I've heard a lot of experiences, and luckily I haven't had this because I probably learned the lesson before it could have happened to me, but a lot of situations where people think I need to perform the next day, I'm going to chug water all day. And really what you're doing, if you're putting in like 100 plus ounces of water, is you're just completely depleting yourself of electrolytes, because that water is flushing all of that out. So really, on top of, the consistency with your water intake, consider how you can add in electrolytes. We can do that through salt with our food. We can also do that through an electrolyte mix. I know Chad mentioned sometimes we don't want to get calories from it. So there are electrolyte only mixes, and just making sure that that is in addition to the water that you're already getting on a consistent basis. And yes, putting in more leading up to a big performance will help you in a very similar way to adding in carbohydrates through like a carb load is going to help you. And then also, I know there's studies done on basically I want to say it's about 2 hours before a performance. So if you're thinking about, race morning, or if you wake up about 2 hours before a long run, getting in sodium that I want to say it's phrased as in a way that is as salty as sweat. I don't really know what that means, but I think that just kind of goes to the personalization aspect of it for, your body weight or whatever. But getting in, a certain amount of sodium or electrolytes 2 hours before a performance is going to boost blood volume, which is ultimately going to help you to perform at a higher level when you need to perform, whether it be a long run, speed workout, or race day.
That's awesome, Austin. Thank you for that feedback and addition. I definitely want my athletes specifically to be drinking a lot of water and a lot of electrolytes and taking in all the sodium. But Austin's right. Like, you don't want to go from like 40 ounces a day to 100, like gradually build up if you're not there. But at the same time, once you're there, hold it. I know people who will go into taper. And I think David Roche talked about this on his podcast. Like, he's had athletes too, like they're talking on their race strategy call, which is like the day before or 2 days before, and the athlete's like, oh yeah, I've just been like slamming water and I haven't been doing that before. And it's like exactly what Austin said, like you're just depleting your body, and that's like the worst thing to do. So gradually build into it, make sure you're getting the electrolytes, the salt, the sodium, and then hold and make sure that it's something that you're able to sustain and incorporate it, a few hours before your long run. That's a great idea, Austin. I love it. All right. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Okay. I don't see anything in the comments. Thank you all for joining today. I'm going to stop my screen share. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for your time today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either Austin or myself. We are at elevateyourrunning.com. You can book a Calendly session with us or a coaching session with us through calendly.com/elevateyourrunning. We're both on Instagram. I'm at Sara Runs Happy, SAYRAH. Now this feels like the podcast, Austin, and at Elevate Your Running. And Austin, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Austin Myers 12.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Austin, for your feedback and your comments and your participation tonight. It was great to see you. And thanks to everyone who showed up. It was great to see everyone. If you have any questions, let us know. And I hope you have a great Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.